What's going on, everyone, and welcome to another tier list, this time with the release of BetterTOS2 happening today slash yesterday. I don't know when this is coming out. I am doing this ahead of time. We're going to be ranking all of the brand new roles and all of the reworks in BetterTOS2. You've probably seen many videos out on the channel already, and there's many more to come. No gameplay in the background of this. We don't have another session of beta testing for another hour, but I wanted to get this done so I can get everything scheduled out. So let's go over the new roles for BetterTOS2 first, then we'll do all of the changes. You would have seen all this stuff when we went over the patch notes for version 1 sometime in the past 24 hours, probably. All right. So, the first role we are going to cover is, and I'm doing this differently. I'm doing this on Google Slides. Oop. Can I? Nope, you're not going to let me. Cool. I'll just do it this way. There. Is the Auditor. So, the Auditor, coming back from, I believe, modded 1, the Auditor goal is to see all town die. They're a neutral para, which is a new faction. Auditor can either audit a player, role blocking one, taking away ability charges, or they can smoke bomb, obscuring all feedback for everyone. Once the Auditor dies, the confiscated ability charges will be returned to the player. We're going to say Auditor is sitting right at a C tier right now. And that's just solely on the base. Like, Auditor's a pretty decent role. Smoke bomb's really good, especially if you know someone's coming to go visit a player. That's really good to do. And then just smoke bomb. And then if you know a jailer or adept that hasn't shot, or a ret or something, generally hurting Coven is not a good thing, but they can do that, and that's why I'm going to bring it down from B to C. So I'm going to put Auditor at C tier to start us off. Next up is a role I'm really excited to play that I've yet to play currently, is Banshee. Banshee, during the night, Banshee can choose a player to shriek at, deafening them. Deafened players will not receive any feedback that night, and they will not be able to hear any player chats the following day. They can still chat. So it's like a reverse Voodoo Master. Voodoo Master's strong, by the way. I'm going to also stick this in C tier. Oops, I don't need to change the size. I'm going to stick this in C tier as well. It's pretty good. The night portion of it is probably D tier. But the fact that they can't hear anything, you can obviously always fake it. And so I like Banshee as a role. Banshee as a role is like an S or A tier role. What it does for the game is about C tier. Next, we got the Inquisitor. Boop. That guy right there. The Inquisitor, which is the replacement to Executioner. The Inquisitor starts the game with 3 targets marked as heretics. The Inquisitor will learn the heretics' roles, but not their names. At night, the Inquisitor has 2 abilities, Inquire and Vanquish. Inquire reveals if their target is a heretic. Vanquish deals a basic attack to their target. If an Inquisitor vanquishes someone who's not a heretic, they will lose all remaining ability charges. The Inquisitor will leave town once all 3 heretics perish. I'm sorry, Tuba. This is an F tier role. You need 1 day to find a heretic. That heretic, then you need a 2nd day to kill said heretic. So it's a 2-day attack. You first off stink. Let's just put it straight. And Basically, what you have to hope on is the Coven or the Apocalypse taking out your heretics. Yeah, no. Not at all. I pass. Alright, Jackal. Returning. Now, I think it calls Jackal Returns rather than Jackal Ranked, even though everything I've played so far has been Jackal Ranked. So, Jackal. Jackal is effectively a modifier and a role at the same time. At the start of the game, 2 random players will join the Jackal as recruits. They will now only win with the Jackal and each other, instead of their original teams. The recruits will always have opposing win conditions and are life-linked to each other. If the recruits die, the Jackal gains the ability to deal a powerful attack. Jackal also now has defense. That was not how it was when I had to play Jackal. I believe now the Jackal will know his recruits and the recruits will know each other at all times. However, this is half of the Shroud with a couple of friends for a little bit that eventually get sussed out. So Jackal is going in D tier. It might be better now that the recruits can know each other, but know each other better than just at the beginning of the day, but I just feel like the Jackal is still underpowered. Alright, next up is Ace Attorney, aka Judge. Judge's goal to see all town members die. If the judge is alive when this happens, they leave town. During the day, the judge may call court. This makes all chat and voting messages anonymous while granting the judge an extra 2 votes, so they're basically mayor. During the night, the judge can subpoena a player learning their true role in faction. This allows the dual judge to find town traitors. So, you get to be mayor for a day. You get to push someone, and you can you can work this out really well. However, at best, it's a B tier role. At best, it's a B tier role. And that's if you have a lot. And the good thing about the BetterTOS2 community right now is you have a lot of active and go-getter people, and so they can take advantage of Judge to do good things. Besides potentially vote the judge. I haven't seen that happen yet, but that would be really funny. Alright. Speaking of cool roles, Marshal. Marshal. During the day, the Marshal may reveal themselves during the day phase and calls a group lunch. Group lunch converts all the remaining trials into executions, where every player is voted will be instantly executed, allowing for up to 3 kills in one day. So, Marshal is great when you have a lot of people suspicious at the same time. If there's evil majority, Marshal is bad. And if Prosecutor's there, Prosecutor just goes ham unless they fix that bug again. I think they did. Because it was a bug where the Prosecutor could just use all the Marshal stuff. We're going to put Marshal in B tier. Marshal is a good town power early game, especially when there's a lot of suspicious rolls out. Next is Oracle, the one role that I have not gotten the chance to play because it just got added. Oracle. During the night, the Oracle may pick a town role to cast their Aegis over. Any alive player with that role will be protected by a barrier, providing them with powerful defense. You cannot cast your Aegis over the same role 2 nights in a row. So, if you're like, there's a bunch of Seers here, which we'll get into, let's protect all the Seers at once. Let's protect all the Clerics at once. Actually, it'd be probably all the Crusaders. Let's just protect the Jailer. So, is it like a beneficial role? Yeah, it's another town protective. However, I've yet to see this like actually happen, and I don't know if it you can do it infinitely. I think we're looking at a B to C tier roll. If you only have 3 charges on it, which I'm going to assume that's what the case is now. Yeah, we're going to still stick her in C tier. Oracle's going to go in C tier. And to make sure I have enough space, we'll move you over. And the last brand new role, and I think the most powerful brand new role in the game, should not come to a shock, is the Star Spawn. So, Star Spawn. It's gold to see all town die. That's another neutral para roll. If the Star Spawn is alive, they leave. During the night, the Star Spawn isolates a player, preventing any non-killing roll from visiting them. So, basically, roll blocks. It's like a reverse roll block, except instead of blocking one person, it blocks many. The Star Spawn will learn the true role and faction of any visitors. So it'll say, like, the Voodoo Master visited, the the Sheriff visited. Star Spawn can also self-isolate, so they can also target themselves. During the day, the Star Spawn may call Daybreak. Daybreak disables and cancels any active abilities, such as shooting as a deputy or jailing someone. Here's the deal. And this was my pitch when I got to first play Star Spawn and I got played against a Star Spawn. Star Spawn should not be able to isolate or should not be able to roll block the same person twice. I think if that's the case, you're looking at like a B to C tier roll again. But the fact that you can just keep on someone and neuter anyone who visits is S tier. It is. It just... And the fact that Daybreak can come out can neuter a lot of things as well. And there's not... the only thing it hurts is Conjure on the Coven side. So, Star Spawn is sitting at S tier. Now let's go over all the new roles that have changed. Because there are a lot of new roles that have changed. Alright, Baker is effectively the Potion Master, but for Apocalypse. Baker was what? F tier? Being able to reveal roles is useful. Being able to heal is not as great, because all the Apoc already have defense. So Baker is better, but it's still not as good as it probably needs to be. So it's sitting at D tier. Next is the Plague Bearer. Plague Bearer will now be able to track exactly who's infecting who at night. So they should be able to mimic tracker and lookout results better. That's just a quality of life thing. It's something that the Plague Bearer could already technically infer. So, Plague Bearer is going to be a C tier roll. It doesn't buff the roll, it just allows them to fate claim better. Berserker can now attack every night after night 1 instead of only on full moons. So that, if they get roll block night 2, they can still attack night 3. Finally, something that fixes Berserker. Next is Pirate. Pirate is a joke roll. Can now talk. Pirate's still going to be D tier. It's just going to be a lot more funny now. Jester. This one's a surprising one. So Jester now cannot be found by TI. They're found innocent by TI. And they killed 2 people. I'm split. I still think Jester's S tier. You just upped their power game, And the only thing is now they can't be found sus, which is the minority of when they got lynched in the beginning. Most of the time it was because, oh, fake roll. Get rid of it. So I think Jester's still S tier. Executioner is our first roll. That is died. Executioner is being reworked, but it's not finished yet. Doomsayer. Doomsayer has an impact reduction. Now, guessing 3 players, it'll be announced that they're doomed, or they will be announced doomed, and will die the next morning. So it delays it a day. You can probably guess where this is going. Inquisitor gets a friend, because Doomsayer is now really bad. Like, boom, these 3 people are now doomed. I don't know if they still die even if Doomsayer gets lynched. But on the basis of Doomsayer could get 3 people, and then Coven could win the game before that happens. Yeah, Doomsayer is like F- tier at this point. Doomsayer should just be dead. Cursed Soul. That's not a role we normally talk about, is it? Overhauled to work with the multiple factions. When swapping roles with another player, you now only swap roles, not factions. This allows an eligible role to be on any team. So you get like Coven Werewolf and Jinx Town. Oh, it was Witch Town. There's a video on that eventually. Cursed Soul can now win the game and now has a night chat with other Cursed Souls. And Cursed Soul no longer has basic defense, even though it took him forever to get that to work. Cursed Soul, I'm gonna be like radical here. Cursed Soul's going in B tier. Oh, now I believe it is still a 50% chance to just get a random person. I don't know if that has changed, but a 50%. Oh, this person is the deputy. They've shot. Let's curse souls and shoot again. Is at least how it worked in the beta. Might not be how it works now, but could potentially. All right. Necromancer is up next. Necromancer now can use more rolls. Easy. Easy. Illusionist. This is the Illusionist buff that the base game needs. Illusionist, when visiting Coven, is Astral. So what illusions like a D to F tier roll? Now we're talking B tier. Because now there's no reason to illusion the Coven. Or no reason not to. Now it's useful because it can't be found out. Dreamweaver. Insanity has changed. And now it just effects typically like automatically roll blocks them. Kind of like how it works with like Jailer. D tier. I would say D tier. It's better, but it's just an automatic. It could stack really well if you use it well, especially with like Voodoo. Vigilante. Due to a Hangman change, Vigilante now survives till the end of the day. That doesn't really change what Vigilante does. It just helps town more. So we're going to stick... I'm going to stick Vigilante in C tier. There are more defensive roles to hit now. Now, Deputy has the exact same thing, but is now unique. So, Deputy is like super S tier now. It's probably now the best town role in the game. Spy. Spy will now see if a player performed an ability the previous day. I did skip Trickster. I already thought Spy was a B tier. I don't think this changes Spy's role much. It just gives them more information to use. And sometimes a little too much information. Trickster. This one's a change. Trickster has been fully reworked. During the night, you may place a magic mirror on your player. If they are attacked, you will absorb their tech, and the next night can chuck it at someone else. So what? Trickster's a D to F tier roll right now. This is effectively another town power, or another town protective that can throw it back out. It has 3. If it didn't have 3 charges, we're talking B to C tier. But it has 3 charges, so we're talking Seer. Speaking about nerfs. Seer now was removed chaining. Once you check a player, you will no longer be able to check them again for the rest of the match. We're actually talking B tier for Seer now. If it was every other, we would talk A, but we're going to talk B tier now. Psychic. I think one of the best, outside of Illusionist, maybe one of the best nerfs they've done. Psychic flopped to where the good vision's on night 1 and the evil vision's on night 2. We're back again, talking about a B tier. It just is what it is. Prosecutor. Prosecutor now just loses their charges. And is not affected by Hangman. So I put it at C tier. I say A tier. I already think Prosecutor's a strong role. Now it's just even stronger that if they're wrong, they still get to basically be a potato. Lookout. Lookout has removed their astral, cannot be seen by other wildlings and lookouts. I'm going to say also A tier. The astral made it a little too much. But they still kept it to where 2 lookouts can't confirm each other. So. Investigator. Someone do a crab raid. Investigator's dead. Deputy, I've already done. Coroner now gets to autopsy stoned rolls. And now I can comfortably say Coroner is finally C tier. Yay for Coroner. And then last is Amnesiac. Save the worst for last. Amni now has a less chance to spawn. It's not town support. It's just straight random town. But it's still F tier because they did not do anything to help it. They just made it less common. So, that is your tier list for BetterTOS2. All the changes, even though I've went over all the patch notes already. Here's how they stack. So, Starspawn, Jester, and Deputy are S tier. I'm sure that I'll get crap for Starspawn being S tier, but it really is. It really is very powerful. Berserker's finally up in A tier. Prosecutors joined them. Lookouts went down. Most things are in B tier, which makes sense. That's kind of what you want, is everything in B and C tier. Several things are in C tier. D tier has the Jackal, which is really sad. Jackal needs a buff. A little bit of a buff somehow. Baker is slowly getting better. Pirate will always be D or worse. And it's supposed to be. Dreamweaver's slowly getting better too. And Trickster's about the same. It just changes its function. Inquisitor, and I'm probably going to get a lot of crap that the Inquisitor... I've never seen an Inquisitor, like, be useful or, like, do anything at all. So. And then Doomsayer is now just potato. Like, it might as well be in dead. Like, it's bad. And then Amni is just more rare. It doesn't do anything different. So, that is a tier list. I got crap in my last tier list about playing a game while doing the tier list. So we just did a straight tier list this go around. If you like that, let me know. Otherwise, we will catch you. I mean, it's uploading a lot at this point.